What's a shallow reason you wouldn't date someone? I once stopped dating a girl because she left me alone in a room for an hour with her mother within a week of dating, where her mother proceeded to talk about BlackBerry phones but she called them blueberries and I was far too socially awkward to correct her. I dated a girl who consistently smelled like pancakes. At first it was cool, I love pancakes anyways. But after a couple dates the smell started to get to me. Eventually I started getting nauseous. So I stopped calling her. Sorry Jessica, I still love pancakes though. Took me a while before I could eat them again. I can't stop laughing at the idea of a girl buying pancake themed body lotions and splashes in a misguided attempt to seduce you. I dated a girl that said like unnecessarily a billion freaking times, and I couldn't deal, so I unliked her. Okay, here's how I cured my sister of this when we were kids and every third word out of her mouth was like. Every time she said like, I'd immediately say like before she could get the next word out. There's always a pause after it, so if you're quick, you can get in there. It's so hot out, I'm just like, shut up, you're like, stop doing, sorry, that one was a little late, you're being, frick you, bravo. Can't believe I haven't seen this yet, a bad laugh, you know, those ones which are both loud and offensive and make everyone in the room shudder, and just for your information, my laugh sucks. I refused to date a friend's friend because she would pick up her cat and try to have a conversation with me about her as the cat. My ex has gone off the deep end and created Facebook accounts for her cats and posts as if it was them. Example, I tried waking mommy up at 5 AM this morning, a whole hour earlier than she set her alarm for. I was purring, whining, pouncing on her, and pawing at her under the covers all in an attempt to get her to wake up and play with me. I didn't even get yelled at, she just said, no and that it's too early whatever that means. So I just gave up after about 15 minutes and cuddled up next to her, after chasing my baby sister around for about 10 and using up some of this energy I had. Mommy said that she wishes that she had our energy at that time of the morning. So do I. That way we could play. Seriously, she wasn't that crazy when I dated her. Oh, and her other cats like the post. Long ago my friend tried to set me up with her guy friend. You'll love him. He's so sweet, she said. So I said okay, and we agreed to meet up at the beach with a bunch of other people. My friend pokes me and says, oh there he is. Look, and be nice. Be nice? I turned to look, and my first thought was why is he wearing a turtleneck at the beach? It's got to be like 90 and, oh my god, it's not a turtleneck. I literally have never seen a hairier guy before or since. It was like seeing Sasquatch strolling down the beach. I managed to be nice and talk to him, but I couldn't get past all the hair. Then he mentions how the sand gets stuck in his hair and I knew there was no way I could deal with it. He really was a nice guy, and really sweet, but the hair was too much to deal with. My dad is like that. Not a square inch of his body that I've seen that doesn't have hair on it. It's utterly horrifying. Naturally, as his son, this scared the living crap out of me growing up. When puberty hit I had already begun pricing the cost for full body laser hair removal. The thought of being like that myself was near unbearable. Fortunately my mom's side of the family is practically hairless, so while I have some body hair it's not Bigfoot level. I just don't know how a person could live like that. I broke up with a girl once because I didn't like her natural smell. This is a huge factor. I've been on dates with a few girls where they were visually attractive but something about their smell or their breath I just didn't like. Went out with a girl a few months back who was obnoxiously into me. I wasn't sure about it and she kept exclaiming things at me in a quiet tea shop where a bunch of people were studying. I love your hair. OMG, that show is amazing. When we left the place she insisted I kiss her and then made me promise to add her on FB. I toe the line between introvert and extrovert, but if I'll leave a date exhausted by your personality, we're not gonna be friends. All I can think about is the 5th Harry Potter book when Harry took Cho to Madame Puddifoot's coffee shop. If they chew with their mouth open, I don't want to be sitting across from someone for thousands of meals and have to deal with that. With the loud continuous aggressive nose breathing. If they are bald with that little island of hair at the front of their head, completely bald is fine. Receding hairline is fine, but once that patch of hair is on its own, it needs to go. I just think it makes any man's instantly worse looking and I can't stop staring at it. Yep, I hate that too, and it happening to me as well. It completely creeps me out. Bald is the way to go. IDK if this is shallow or not, but I can't stand when a girl does a child baby voice. You're a grown butt woman. I'm 28. I wouldn't be able to date a dude who had a really effeminate high-pitched voice. I don't mind dating guys who are short or overweight, but the voice pitch would be a deal breaker for me. There used to be this incredibly attractive girl in college. First day of orientation, I work up my nerves to go talk to her and she said hello and smiled at me. That hello sounded 100 times worse than the screech you can generate from writing with a chalk on a board. Next second, the same smile that I found pretty looked like a witch's grin. I can't believe no one has said this. Those freaky deaky, fricked up eyebrows, where some chicks shave them off entirely and pencil or tattoo on these perpetual furrowed looking brows, or make them massive. I find it truly repugnant. Are awfulia brows. Well, I just lost 20 minutes I can never get back, looking at awful eyebrows. I started seeing this girl, and she had a gap between her two front teeth. Now, it didn't bother me at first, it was actually kind of endearing. However, one night we were eating burgers, and I noticed food would stack up inside the gap. Each bite she took would add a bit more, and when it reached capacity, she would make this quiet skin noise and then it would be empty. This really bothered me, and I couldn't get it out of my head. Forget ever kissing her again, brrrr. So I fed her some BS about lack of chemistry, not feeling it, blah blah blah, and ended it as diplomatically as possible. I dumped the last dude I was dating because he had no interest in cuddling. Why date someone who doesn't enjoy cuddling? I can't get myself to talk to a girl if her grammar is terrible. I've stopped talking to a couple of otherwise awesome girls because I cringed when I read their texts half the time. I didn't come out and say this, but it was still the reason. Makes me feel shallow as heck, but I can't help it. Long nails, and especially if they do that tapping thing with it, just nut up. I can't deal with clinginess. The last guy I dated would panic if I didn't text back right away, so I'd often come back from the gym, or even a shower, to a series of increasingly panicky texts asking if I was mad at him. My GF, now wife, used to do this until I told her that everyone needs time to unplug. I never had that issue since, unless she has an anxiety or something. In that case she can spam all she wants. Started talking to a girl and we really hit it off. Ask for her number, text her a couple of days later, get something like this in return: OMG, so good to hear from you. Never even replied to the text. Stomach sticking out further than the T. I felt so crappy typing that. I see loads of dudes like this. Maybe this wouldn't be considered shallow, but anyone who brags about doing drugs, I probably generally wouldn't want to date someone who smokes weed simply because I don't, so it wouldn't really match my lifestyle. But if you're into the culture that wants to scream about their excessive marijuana use, then I'm definitely not interested. I find it hard to be attracted to a man with bigger boobs than me, whether they're like muscle boobs or fat man boobs. I just can't. Fingernails on men. If they are longer than close cut, I get skeeved out. I remember reading an article that said they did an experiment between two sets of nurses, ones with close cropped nails sealed with superglue and the other regular. The control group had like a zillion% higher rate of bacteria growth. She wasn't into what I was into in bed. Outside of that, we could have gotten along very well, but I knew that either she or I would have ended up resenting the other due to sex. It's for the best, as she went on to get married and have 3 awesome kids. I broke up with a girl cause her forehead was too big. I actually measured it when she fell asleep next to me on the couch one day. Was a solid 5 head. I didn't even notice until I jokingly measured it that day. I actually measured it when she fell asleep next to me on the couch one day. I think if someone did that to me, that would be a reason I wouldn't date them. Back in my last year of university, I would sit in the commerce lounge and do assignments between classes. Every day, I noticed the same cute girl was there. Almost a whole semester went by and I didn't introduce myself to her because I thought she was cute and I was nervous as heck. I was totally crushing on her big time even though I had never talked to her. A couple weeks before the semester ended, I finally saw my chance to talk to her. All the tables in the lounge were taken except the larger table she was sitting at alone. So I walked up and asked her if she minded if I could sit at the table since all of the other ones were taken. She smiled and said sure. So I sat down. I got my laptop out and started to work away at an assignment. After a couple minutes passed, I struck up a conversation with her. Just small talk about school and what she was studying. We really hit it off. I could feel some really good chemistry. We probably chatted for about 30 minutes until she had to leave for her class. When she got up and started to leave, I said sorry, I forgot to get your name. My name here. Nice to meet you. My name is Patty. Crush ended. TLDR. I didn't pursue a really cute girl I had a crush on because I found out her name was Patty. He shaved after almost 2 years of dating and then I saw that he had no chin. Plus he was a total butthole but the chin thing pushed it over the top. They're a girl who loves horses. Done enough dating to know that those are usually the really crazy ones. Obviously, there are exceptions, though. Maybe this is why I'm single. Frick. On a side note, I hardly talked about anything horse related when I dated my ex. The most I would was oh, yeah, I was volunteering at my stable yesterday. Pretty sure he even forgot I rode horses at some point. Only my close friends know more of the details of what I do. I stopped making it public that I rode horses when I was like 14, when I was young and carefree. This is not the case anymore. Some of my horse friends though, do take it too seriously and that's all they talk about no matter who they're with. Like we get it, you have a nice warm blood, but we were talking about our plans for this evening and we need to map out our plans, Susan. If they show up to a date without at least trying to look nice, I don't expect her, or, on a rare occasion, him, to dress to the 9s every time we go out, but something more than a t-shirt and shorts would be nice. Also, their tastes. If they won't try anything new beyond hamburgers, hot dogs, and spaghetti, then I'm not interested. I like food, and I like trying a wide variety of food. Saying I don't eat Mexican, Indian, Chinese etc. is a very quick way to get me to nope out of a date. Individual ingredients I'll give a bit more leeway on, because food allergies and such, but there is a difference between I won't eat peanuts and I won't eat an entire category of food. The not being willing to try anything new is one that gets me too. I am unfortunately a picky eater, but I'll try anything once. If I don't like it, oh well, but I'll absolutely try it. Foods I know I don't like, I retry on purpose every couple of years or so, or if I run across a unique preparation, to see if my tastes have changed and I like it now. Sometimes I do. Some fish, sometimes I don't. Asparagus. But hey, I tried. Same goes for trying new things in general. A new restaurant, an activity someone recommended, a movie different than one's preferred genre, going to the mountains instead of the beach for a long weekend. I guess just not having an open mind in general. Okay, so I broke up with my last girlfriend a few days ago, and I have to get this off my chest. My last relationship was the result of a week-long Xanax binge. I don't even remember hooking up with her, and when I came down off the benzos, I realized I had a new 400-pound girlfriend. Okay, that's alright, because she was cool and I was lonely and so frick it. But she did little stupid butt things that drove me crazy. Like for one, she drove very badly and I hate bad drivers. But what really got me is one day she came out of the bathroom and sat down next to me. I was like, you were in there a long time. I assume you pooped? Why didn't you wash your hands? And then she proceeded to rub her hands on her own face. Then she rubbed her hands on my face. Then she said, oh, I don't wash my hands when I poop. I'm weird like that, but don't worry, my hands are clean. Noped out of there fast as frick. Dear God, why do I get myself in these situations? If they have the gay lisp or they're thinner, smaller than I am, gay guy here. I'm definitely not the most masculine guy you'll meet, and I don't mind my partner having some feminine attributes. but I'm just not attracted to the lisp voice or someone twinkier than me. I have gay friends with the voice and I love them to death, but it turns me off sexually. Also, closeted guys. I understand how hard it is to be out in Texas with religious family. I don't blame you for hiding it, but I won't date you if it's a secret because I know I'll have a problem with it down the line. I totally understand what you mean. I'm pretty thin and have a small frame, so I don't think I'd be able to be with someone smaller thinner than I am. I'm not the most masculine guy either, but I would definitely not be able to date a guy who has that whole YAAS girl work fierce thing going on. I'm fine with being a bit effeminate and I love my friends who speak that way, but in a boyfriend it would get old really fast. Can you imagine what sex would be like? Same thing for dating closeted guys. I feel like more often than not a man becomes, in a way, a different person after coming out. It is a lot better to date someone who already has that acceptance and embrace of their sexuality that shows off in their attitude and personality. It's also nice for introductions to friends and family, and having that complete honesty in regards to the nature of your relationship, not having to hide who they are or be wary of people doubting. A girl who falls into the stereotype of being basic, or someone who plays hard to get or any of the dumb dating games. If we like each other, we get to know each other, and be ourselves. I don't want to waste my time with someone who feels the need to beat around the bush or make me chase after them. Frick those people. Pierced nipples. I feel sometimes like I'm the only one that doesn't find them attractive. But that's just how I feel. In college I'd be getting busy with a girl and she'd like whisper in a sexy voice my nipples are pierced. Like she was excited to tell me and that I would be turned on by this. For me personally, I instantly find them less attractive. And it also instantly rules them out for actually dating. I've been called shallow for this before, but I don't care. I can't help what I do and do not find attractive. And I honestly think pierced nipples ruin their tea and look very trashy. This just my opinion though. If you have pierced nipples and it makes you happy, that's totally fine. You could be the girl of my dreams. I'm not dating you if you have the same name as my mom. A dude and I were getting really hot and heavy on a date and I knew it was going to end in memorable sex. It was about our 4th date and I had bought some sexy lingerie in anticipation of our first night. He left me at my door while he parked the car and I ran up to my apartment to change. As a last minute touch I also spritzed myself with some perfume, which I rarely wear, right before he walked back in. The second he walks in I know something's off. I ask if everything is alright and he gives me an unconvincing yay. He starts kissing me but stops to ask what perfume it is I'm wearing. Cool waters. We start kissing again but instead of increasing the passion he sort of deflates. I figured maybe he's nervous. So I take off my new teddy, showing off my tatas in all their glory, and wrap myself around him kissing his neck. He pushes me off and jumps out of the bed yelling I can't do it. It's my mother's perfume. We stayed in touch as friends but never went out ever again. Didn't even mention our 4 dates again. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.